Hello, my friends. Today is April 29th, and we're going to start off with the word of the week, or words, because they're telling me 3 cards. So words of the week, what we need to be focused on. Also, we're going to talk about relationships, because as I was pulling some of the decks that I have down, the relationship deck caught my eye, and this could be relationship within yourself or relationships with other people. So keep that in mind. It could be something personal or relationships with other people. Also remember that this is a general reading, so that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to resonate with everybody. Remember, take what you need and leave what you don't need. Okay, so 1, 2, and let's go with, nope, that's not it. 3. Okay. So, resurrection. Okay, this is the resurrection card. This is about really just kind of this is about putting things out there. It's about looking at this dream. You know, they're showing me, like, if at one point you wanted to write a book and you kind of throw it out there and you're seeing what's going out, and maybe things change for you. Maybe you were, the guy is fishing and you've got these 2 mermaids that are just kind of fiddling with the bait and messing with the bait. So maybe it's time to look at old projects and old things that maybe, let me go this way, that maybe you wanted to do, and maybe it just gave you a different thing. But now's the time to kind of look at this, resurrect old projects, really see about kind of messing around with those thoughts, those feelings that you had before about a project. And for some reason, my guide's just giving me like someone that's wanted to write a book and then decided, no, I don't want to do that. Well, now it's time to go ahead and do that. All right. Temptation. If you look at this card, look at the way her face is right here. I mean, she's like reaching out to grab something, and it's like, this is really tempting, something that looks really good, but it's really not. So I would invite you that if you have a situation that comes up to you that really looks really awesome, to really look into it, to really look at they're saying cross your T's, dot your I's. So that's my sign for really look into things, see if it really is how it truly is. Like if you're going into business contracts, you're going into leases, you're going into stuff, make sure you read everything. It's like I said, cross your T's, dot your I's. Be really careful that it's not something that looks awesome, because they're showing me something that really looks awesome, like this beautiful cake, but it's really shitty on the inside. Okay, so just be very careful with that. And then discovery. There's a lot of discovery going on. Here is this girl, and she's discovering layers upon layers upon layers upon layers until she gets to her core, her center. And this is about, I see the outside, and immediately I thought being grounded. Remember that we've discussed this a lot since this whole COVID thing has gone on, is just making sure that you're being grounded and you take time for you. This is about self-love. Again, this is about finding who you are. And for those of you that are empaths, understand that you're going to be feeling different things. You're going to be seeing different things. This is okay. You're not, new discoveries. You're discovering all of these new old things about you that maybe you didn't know. It doesn't make you crazy. It doesn't make you weird. So just be okay. So resurrection. Oops, sorry. I apologize for that. Resurrection. Be careful of temptation, and then new discoveries. Okay, so resurrection, temptation, and discovery. So those are the 3 words for the week. Okay. Now, as far as the reading, like I said, I really wanted to do the relationship deck. That's what caught my eye the most. So, as a whole in relationships, what do we need to be focused on? As a whole in relationships, what do we need to be focused on? Sorry, my allergies are killing me. Not a great time for allergy season, huh? So, as a whole in relationships, what do we need to be focused on? Okay, we're going to go with 5 here. 2, 3, 4, and 5. Okay, the first thing that came up is base chakra. This is the same thing about being grounded. You know, it is time for you to really focus on that. What I would suggest, if you're having troubles being grounded, go on YouTube, look for some, grounding meditations or something like that. Remember, it doesn't have to be meditation. It could be something wherever you are being creative, whether that's writing poetry, whether that's hiking, whether that is exercising, whether that is painting, playing music. They're showing me crocheting. I mean, they're just showing me tons of stuff that you could be creative with. So in any sense that you are doing creative things, this kind of helps the base chakra and ground you and get you settled into you. Okay, now moving on. This is a card where if you have been struggling to kind of decide whether you should stay or go, this is the card that means that it's time to go. You know, it's time to move away from a situation. And it could be something, I know a lot of people have been calling me recently and getting readings. Feel free to go on my website and there should be a link. It's sagehealers.com. But so anyways, and that should give you my contact information. But I know that a lot of people have been talking about moving jobs and moving careers. And I think that is so awesome that you're just finding that, you know, you're not being fulfilled in the area that you're being fulfilled in. So this is a card that says, I'm not happy, and it really is time, and you've just got to figure out a way to be okay with making that change or that move or stepping away from that situation, okay? This card means that there is lots of love around you, and it's very, very important for you to remember love, be in that heart space, and really... one of the things that came up this morning was forgiveness. And I will say this again, that if you cannot find forgiveness, I would ask that you imagine this big, beautiful pink light shining down on the situation, because the reality is you're probably holding on to this more than the other person is. So it's really a time to let go, understand that, be in your heart space, be in love, find forgiveness. Lots and lots of gratitude is what they're saying. This is such an important, a tremendous time for self-healing and love and self-love. Okay? Manifesting is so huge. Remember, something that hit me last night as I was talking to a really good friend on text messaging or on Facebook Messenger. They wanted me to remind people that for those of you that are looking for your Mr. Right or Mrs. Right, remember that this other person may need to step away from their situation where they're at, and they need some self-healing. So it's going to take a little bit of time. So don't give up. Don't just say, well, I've been manifesting this person for a long time and he still isn't here. The reality is he might be breaking up. He might be stepping away he might be moving on from the relationship or the person that they're at. Now is the deeper time to really start feeling the relationship emotionally. What is that relationship going to bring you when you finally have that person who's going to respect and love you the way you need to be? For me personally, I just concentrate on this healing center. I just know I'm going to have this healing center. I know it. I can see it. I can envision it, and I can envision people coming to me for help. That's it. I don't worry about the other little bits, and I feel how good it's going to feel when I can see people healing and changing their lives. That's all I'm concentrating on. So I would invite you to step into the mode of how wonderful it feels when you have whatever it is that you're manifesting. New careers, they say, as far as their careers, if you don't know what you want to do, they want you to stay focused on what's important. Okay? What is important for you? What's important as far as the words? Supportive, room for growth, room for collaboration, all of these really wonderful words that would kind of explain exactly what type of environment you want to work in, and then feel how good it's going to feel when you have that support, that collaboration, that room for growth, more money, all of those things that you want and you need. Okay. And one of the biggest things it says right now is embrace what's going on, whether it's good or bad right now. And they're showing me in my head the win or lose card. Win or lose, know that it's exactly how it has to pan out. And they're telling me, remember to stay out of fear. When we are in that, we are vibrating the whole, Schumann resonance and everything. Our vibrations are changing. So when you continue to stay in that place of fear, or even for remotely for just a little while, you're giving into, they show me ways. I'm going to put this down for a little bit so you can see what I'm talking about. It's like having 3 or 4 different timelines that we're stepping into. And depending on what we focus on, is how we're moving. So those of us that are awake, those of us that are enlightened, those are of us that are stepping up and turning on, they show me the light bulb turning on. It's more important for us to stay focused on the positive and what we want to see happen than being focused on, I'm scared this is going to happen. I'm scared this is going to happen. This. We have to step out of fear. So embrace that, what's happening is such, look at the heart in the middle of the center of the earth. I mean, we're getting connected. Things are changing. And they keep saying that the covers are going to be lifted. I mean, we're going to find out a lot of different things. Some of us are not going to like the information that's going to be uncovered at the end of the year. Some of us are not going to, we're going to be startled. We're going to be a little bit like, oh my gosh. So just be aware of that, okay? So those words were base chakra, which remember that means being grounded. Move on. So if there is a situation that you don't know if you should move on or leave, this is your cue that maybe it is best if you move on. So you need to try to find a way to do that. If that's what I always say, just make sure you have put your all into it before you run and step away. Okay? Know that there's lots of love around you and stay in love. Manifest, it's really huge. Manifest, create that vision board. Create those words that mean whatever it is that you want to create. Don't worry about the ABC. But one of the biggest things is some people that are really into manifesting and really into Esther Hicks, they're like, well, I think about this all the time. I think about this all the time and it never comes. Well, you do have to stand up and work for that. It's not going to show up on your doorstep. It's not the winning lottery ticket. It's almost like they say you have to buy the ticket in order to get the $1 million prize. So you do have to work for it. It's and they go back to the relationship. They're showing me it's like the woman who sits on her, sits at home, never goes out, never puts herself out there on the internet, never does anything to try to find a relationship, but then turns around and complains that that person is never coming. Well, you got to put yourself out there some way and keep doing it because it will come. Remember, we're in a really high frequency and things are coming faster. So this next deck is the light workers. I always forget what this one is called. The light workers one. Okay. Okay, we're going with 2 with this one. The first one is spiritual service. So it's very important, okay? Spiritual service, however you see fit. Remember that I have said before, if you are not in a good heart space to do for others, do not reach out to people. When your energy is low and you are riding that wave, and all of a sudden on the, the surfboard, you're riding that wave, and all of a sudden you just fell in the ocean. And in that moment, physically, mentally, whatever it may be, you're struggling. It is not the time to reach out. It is time to be of service to yourself. Okay? But when you're in a good space, when you're in a really good place, then it really is time for spiritual service. And it's reaching out. And it can be just telling somebody your appreciation for them. It could be just, thank you so much for coming to work, and I'm sorry that it's rough and you have to stand, check us out at the grocery store. And it could be as simple as that, just bring gratitude of the people that are the essential workers, so but whatever you see fit, spiritual service. Also remember again that some of you your lights are gonna be shining brighter, you're gonna be picking up stuff. Okay, the next one is, I don't have my glasses on, alchemy mutations. Okay, so things are gonna be changing. Okay, we've discussed this. You're going to be changing. I mean, look at that card. He's starting to change. He's starting to get, different. There's definitely some, depending on your belief system, there is definitely some things happening. They're showing me that some people are releasing a lot of things that don't belong. They're releasing a lot of old systems, a lot of negative beliefs, and that is so awesome. And so with that, you learn and grow, and self-love, like I said, is so important. But because of this, and because of all these changes and staying in love, you get to be a more spiritual being, no matter what that is, no matter what your path looks like. So it's really awesome. So those are those two cards. So there you go. All right. There is, and I did not check, and I will try to add in the comments somewhere of my check out Freebird Spirits page. She does a lot of readings, and it's awesome. Also, she does a live readings at 11:11 on Sundays, and you can see me there. I believe we're going to do it this coming weekend, Sunday at 11:11 Mountain Time. Oops, sorry. Also, Gothangelik, her name just flew out of my head, but anyways, check out her page. I'm going to have her listed too. Angelic Goth, awesome reader. She does Lenormand as well. So feel free to check out my website, and also don't forget to subscribe. For us old folks, I honestly thought that subscriptions cost, and I never subscribed before. So it doesn't cost a thing. And if you want to hear it when I come online, make sure you hit the bell. And thank you so much, guys, and have a great, awesome week, okay? Bye-bye.